Hello and welcome to the CNC HEL Contender Grand Finals. I am so excited to be bringing this one to all of y'all. My name is Puffy, and I am joined by our two lovely panelists, hosts, co-commentators. You see them on your screen right now. Let's go down the line. Tiny, what up, buddy?
Hi, I'm Tiny Elephant. I'm a player on the AVI Contender team, and I'm excited to be here. Yeah, there we go.
I picked the wrong side. Well, to distract us from that, Nexus, how about you then give your introduction?
Well, hello guys. I'm Nexus. I am the semi-finalist. I'm also known as a folding chair in semis. So I make it to just before grand finals, only to flop. But yeah, I'm
Because
excited
we
to be
needed you on
here.
the desk.
Yeah, I mean they gave me a call. They said throw
Mhm.
the game. I'll pay you in tunes, and I
All right, somebody call the admins, get them on this. Well, obviously, tonight's not all about us. Tonight's about the two teams that we have going head to head. They've made it all the way through these playoffs. I know it can't be easy. You got to go up against opponents like Nexus. Those folding chairs can be kind of hard to figure out, how you get them closed. They get kind of stuck sometimes if they're open for too long.
they're
But
not
these
warmed
two
up.
teams have done it, and the two teams facing off today are the Necromancers from HEL and ATL coming at you with the Sirens. And as these two teams go head to head, I think it's important for us to meet the players. And so, Nexus, I think you've got a little bit to say about ATL, and we can pull up their stats as you do so to learn a little bit more about these teams.
Yeah, so being a former franchise member of the ATL brand, going dating all the way back towards season, I believe 7, when they were formerly known as GLD, the Gladiators. Yeah, it's a super solid team there, right? I'm looking at the stats right here. In the regular season, it's been Rockin, Bishop, and Dido, and Whale Valanche just having like superstar performance here, and Roly Coly being a 0.95 KD, excuse me, not rating. It doesn't show the full. Sirens is a team that like just has everyone shooting on all cylinders, and if someone is missing, someone's always there to pick up the. And coming into playoffs here, I believe we see that Whale skyrocketed a 1.28 KD overall, 93 ADR. Whale is known as a player who's very very smart and also very mechanically gifted, but he is a victim of the IGL nerf. But when you have players like Dido and Bishop and Rockin, it just makes it that much easier to call around them. So once again, my money's on ATL here. I feel like they just have that much of a superstar team going forward into the grand finals here.
Hey, get to learn a little bit more about ATL, how they're firing on all cylinders. I can relate to you on that IGL curse. It can be a little bit tough to call and frag done in playoffs here. I think another player that can relate on that IGL curse, somebody who's got a sharp mind and called a little bit tiny. I know that you've got some
Yeah,
experience, and I think you use that brain power to walk us through the players on the
yeah,
Necromancer.
absolutely. Let's talk Necromancers real fast. This is a team that has been together the whole season, similar to ATL. They picked up American Jesus from AVI in the offseason and then added to a really strong core. Um, in a lot of ways, I think Hell was underseeded because Zims had to adapt to opping in CS2 as all oppers did. But especially in playoffs, he's hit his form. Same with Clouds, who, as you can see, was at like a 1.0 KD, 74 ADR, and since playoffs started, has averaged a 1.38 KD, 95 ADR, 50% headshot percentage. Like absolutely monster stats from Clouds since we've hit playoffs. So the way I viewed it when I looked at it was Hell went from a team that had 1 star player in Zims and 4 fraggers, or competent fraggers, to a team of 2 superstars in terms of a star opper, star rifler, and 3 players that are all putting up above a point 0.8 KD, and all but one of them is averaging over 75 ADR now.
Wow.
So it's a really strong team. AJ was on my prospect winning team, and he's just an incredibly gifted entry. He really figures out how to pick apart teams, often solo, and he adds a really good dimension to this team as well.
Yeah, I think that's a player that I want to dive a little bit more into because, I mean, some viewers may be wondering, how do you even have these stats? We've got no official stats out there. These have been scraped from screenshots of games. we have put these together. I would say a perfect size monster, but it's not monstrous. It's beautiful that we have these stats to play with, but also that we get to look at things like ADR more closely because we can't build just one rating stat. Because of that, I mean, American Jesus, 85 ADR, highest on the team, playing that E3 role. Like, yeah, he might have a low ADH, but that dude is going in and he's making it work, getting so much damage on the team, and I'm excited to see that unfold as we look into the match. But I know both of you mentioned some players that had been sort of performing even stronger here in playoffs, and I think that's a head-to-head that we've got another graphic that we can highlight here, as both uh, both Clouds and Whale Avalanche have been turning it up, have been making a difference here in playoffs.
Absolutely. Speaking for Cloud's side, he had a 74 ADR regular season, and now has a 95 ADR, and literally increased his KD by 0.5. So it's absolutely insane numbers from Clouds, and has really been a huge part of HEL's success.
Yeah, and speaking over towards the ATL side there, Wave Avalanche is, like I said, just someone who is mechanically gifted, someone who is just who can hit those shots when the time comes for it. But when you have players like Dido, Bishop, and Rockin, there's no need for Whale to hit those shots. However, when they're all on together and they're all hitting their shots, they're playing as a unit as they should be. There is almost no stopping them. Their team play is absolutely insane, and they don't have to depend on a very singular fragger. They don't have to have like someone like Clouds who needs to step up. They are all very powerful individuals. And as you mentioned, American Jesus, phenomenal entry. And while that's great, American Jesus just I feel like just send that up, send up to Dido, and that Dido is someone I played with many times, and he as much as he likes to push the smokes, he will get the frags that you need in terms of those entries. He will catch you off guard. You'll be yelling at your monitor, "Why are you pushing through the smoke? Why are you pushing past this piece of map control?" And Dido just has that timing, and I feel like Dido just can absolutely American Jesus when it comes to.
Yes, some players sort of can make that difference. Ever since Stewie 2K made the push for decriminalizing smoke pushing, it's all been uphill from there. And I believe now we're able to jump into our map veto, start to look at these bands and start to see what they've picked into. Tiny, is this what you were expecting to see from these bands?
Honestly, yeah, Necromancers, when I talked to them, were very confident in their Anubis, and felt like they had seen a couple things in their match against Sirens on Overpass when they lost them in the regular season that they knew they could do better with. So, at least on from the Necromancers' point of view, they really seem to have nailed their map picks here, what they were really hoping for.
Okay, and Nexus, is there anything that jumps out, any particular map that you think our eyes on going into this best of three?
Honestly, all the maps that have been picked are maps that like I played against ATL on. I played them on Overpass, Vertigo, and Anubis, and all three maps are just super solid. And I feel like these once again these vetoes. Once again I may sound very biased, but I think these maps just play very well into ATL. But I also don't have that much experience with the Necromancer, as I've never played against them. I haven't much watched many of their games, so who knows? Maybe their record is just the same as as the Sirens here. But a really good point to note is Vertigo. Vertigo has been played lots of times in the contender tier, and I strongly believe that Sirens and BS were like the top tier teams on Vertigo. I believe they were 5-0 for the Sirens on Vertigo, and they just kind of know how to work around it. And so I feel like it's just going to be a very powerful game going forward.
Yeah, pulling up Analytical here, I can see they've got a 63% round win percentage on Vertigo. It's just, I mean, it's impressive. It shows dominance, and they've been undefeated on that map. Which, I mean, any map that you're undefeated on, of course, you're going to want to play into it here in finals. You got to go with what you're comfortable with. You got to get your players comfy. I think we're getting close to jumping into this, but I want to ask each of you. I think we've been hinting at it, given your expertise on each of these teams, but what's your prediction? Give me a team you think is going to win, and talk to me about what you think the scoreline's going to be.
I think I'll go first. I think HEL takes this 2-1. I think they come out, win a close one on Overpass, get blown out on Vertigo, and then show us a lot of new things on Anubis. I know it's a map that they've had in their pocket and they feel really confident in.
As for me, ATL Sirens, they just, once again, I feel like they win it 2-1, and part of me kind of thinks they can win it in 2-0. It's
Ooh.
more or less not even the fact that Vertigo is going to be a win for ATL, but because I played against them on Overpass in the semis, and they just kind of blew us out of the water. It The way they just play the maps, every single map that they play, it's not set strategy. It's not one player to go out and get frags. It's work around the map control and try to exploit any gaps that they know the CTs will have to give up, whether it's pushing for a piece of map control or overstacking a gamble site. And they just know how to pick the right ones and they know how to push through it.
Okay, giving us a little bit of a taste of what's to come here on Overpass, as that is the first map I believe that we're going to be able to jump into here, the series. I want to say, from the two of you, I know we've spent this entire desk sort of each of you on your sides. I've been the neutral observer pitting you against each other. Yes, fight. Um, but Tiny, I want to ask you: is there anything about the Sirens that you feel like, yes, you may be the one rooting for HEL tonight, but what would you say is their biggest strength? How can they overcome and prove your prediction wrong if they were to do it?
They have two players who I think, just pure game sense wise, belong, a tier above. Not because they're misplaced, but because they're just very smart players. It's really hard to beat a team who both has the mechanics and also has the brains to make reads, gather info, and do it in a way that doesn't throw away their life on a regular basis.
Okay, and Nexus, if you're gonna give some love over towards that other side, what would you say if they're gonna beat? You say the Sirens might 2-0 this. If HEL's gonna have a chance in this one, what do they have to do?
It's definitely setting Zims up for success and to get them into those positions where they can get these easy frags and fall off very easily, but also having American Jesus opening up the sites. As Tiny Elephant has mentioned, he's a phenomenal entry fragger, and I believe that a strong entry, whether they get the kills or not, as long as they take the space to make sure that the rest of their players can just hold down that site, is absolutely phenomenal. Especially with Clouds coming in, it's just skyrocketing with his KD. If he keeps performing the same way he's performing now, it just makes it that much easier for Necromancers to kind of pull away from the Sirens.
All right, I'm a little excited. If I'm gonna give an opinion here, I will. Honestly, I don't know. I think this is gonna be a close one. My heart wants me to go with HEL because of how much I've played with American Jesus. I feel like ATL have just been so much stronger in the season. When we look at these two teams' records, we see that HEL was actually 6-5. They had a 50.4% round win percent, meaning it's literally a coin toss. But they were able to make it here and make it all the way, which is exciting. I mean, ATL 8-3 in the regular season, just proven that they can be a cut above. Then I think I'm gonna have to go with ATL here for my prediction, but I think it's gonna be 2-1. And honestly, I think that third map can go either way. So I'm excited to see. I believe we're gonna be ready to get into it here soon, as production has given us word that there are 10 players within the server. Is always a good sign. I'm always excited for some good Counter Strike. This will be a fun one. And we're going to jump right into it as we start off here on the pistol. Dido, tuck towards Toxic as nades fly through. He's going to call his team down. The entire time, there's actually a fight going on A. So many players just funneling out of that fountain. Trades, it's going to leave the Necromancers. E3. Lost a lot of manpower. They've sent the Sirens spread across the map. Finally, Dido clears Monster. Began to rotate up. Starts to rotate up. They're coming back down. Oh, are they going to dodge this player in connector? No, they make contact instead. Confirm that Whale is back in that corner. American Jesus can get the trade. He's been found out and has to run. Has to get in towards this site. Let him do it. Let him cross. It's over. Clearing. He wants fights instead. He's worried about a monster push, and that entire time, now the rotates are here. Shadow makes contact from heaven. Rockin' flips out of CT. Okay. just waiting. Wants a fight that he could win, but long range with the Glock isn't always the best. Now finally starts to get down. Dido's going to drop out of heaven, make some noise, take some damage. So a swap off to the Glock, surrounded on both sides and finished off. Body shots combined, and the Sirens grab themselves the first round here on Overpass.
Almost a nice 1v3 there from American Jesus. Really tried to bait that out. I wonder if, in the long run, he would have rather got that bomb plant.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, it definitely is a tough decision. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the team play coming out from the Sirens. Dido knew not to over-aggress and overswing that fight, letting Rockin take the engagement and having American Jesus have to do a 180 to get both kills. And once again, just perfect team play coming out for that round.
I like the short take here. They're going to just take water and pause. And honestly, pausing is the wrong decision, but they don't know it, because the Sirens had 4 people up on A, and only now are they rotating one back. So found there as the CTs start to crunch down these MP9s, making light work of the pistols, and not even a bomb plant going to be afforded here for the Necromancers, as they're going to have to hope to do something in the coming gun round.
That's tough. Really wishing you probably gotta be wishing you got that bomb down now. Having to go into this round, still not on a great buy.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just kind of farming money with those MP9s, knowing that they didn't get the bomb plant down, knowing that they have to go for a save. And the meta is starting to shift here. Teams are starting to maybe buy back more into that second round, knowing that, these CTs will have very poor guns, FAMASs and MP9s, so Tech 9s can definitely do some damage, especially if it's a running Tech 9.
Oh, Tech 9s can do so much damage. I'm always scared of the Tech 9s, but even more scary is the AK. American Jesus showing the entry prowess, but immediately flashed and traded out. 1-for-1 in short, and that's all of the B presence the Necromancers have.
A lot of info, though, for HEL. 3
Yeah.
push short there. So they got to know that A site's weak, theoretically.
But if the Sirens, as they rotate, they're going to try to fill these gaps, and it's all about how much space the Necromancers take. And also, do they worry about potential flanks? Because there's a player all the way for Monster. That's really cool.
Yeah, Cole is that kind of player, as I mentioned before, who takes on more of like a role player, takes on these lurk positions, and can catch these timings so well. He knows when he needs to aggress and when not to. And sometimes you don't even expect when he's starting to just get behind you and get the frag. And they have 45 seconds left. Cole should be starting to move roughly now, but they're stacked up on the A side with these MP9s, very close range. More money is going to be farmed, and if they win the round, it's guns in their hands.
There's only 2 of them. That's where I'd get concerned, because they've given up all the space. The full exit can come through, and can only 2 MP9s defend. Flash in up close here. Rocket makes contact and falls all the way back. It's starting to scale, but now this is where the flanks come through, and if they're not fast enough, they're going to get found out. Starting to get picked apart, but the bomb has gone down. He's got to fend off the SMGs.
Got a team kill.
Zims from long. That is a team kill, but he's still up, still alive and kicking, and finally that's where the flank activates.
Yeah, once again, like, Sirens just, once again, showing their team prowess together. They waited for each other to go off the peak. They were flashing for each other. They peeked together, and they're playing off of each other so well. They're jiggle peeking. They're making noise. They're trying to just bait the attention from the Necromancers, and then they're swinging off all together all at once. And when you eliminate those opponents on that bomb site as a CT, it just narrows it down even more. In a 4v1, it's very hard to try to win out that clutch without having CTs play it poorly. Once again, the team play is coming through, and if the Necromancers want to win this map, they're gonna have to just completely tear them apart.
I'd say one thing I'm noticing already is HEL's biggest strength is that they like to, flash out for each other. They're really good at getting a person out with util, and I'm not seeing that so far. And a lot of solo plays.
They tried it with American Jesus. It was solo, but they did have util.
Mm-hmm.
But after the trade comes through, it's like, okay, then you need to pick more of the map control that you want to take. Otherwise, you'll just end up going slow. And yeah, they took that, but they just kept going slow, and the Sirens were one step ahead of them.
I feel like they weren't sure what they wanted to do entry-wise there. Watching, they were so tentative. They smoked off truck, but didn't do anything to molly behind that smoke or to pre-aim the peak. And so instead, they almost lost a player to an MP9 immediately and got nothing out of the trade.
It's difficult in these sort of rounds. I stream back on cams, I believe. This is how you know we're a real broadcast. We have tech pauses. Just like class, like ESL. But honestly, these are just the first few rounds. As also, it's T-side overpass, which I would say is a notoriously tough side to really break into, especially with the nerves of the start of a game. I think that HEL only needs a couple rounds to make this competitive on the side swap.
I'd agree. One thing I'm noticing too is not seeing the exec portion from HEL, and that if you're gonna go slow, right, and take that space after losing the B side, I'd like to see more of like a coordinated take on A to try to at least like give yourself the space. It almost felt like they were going just for the plant. They didn't really seem to have a plan for post plants or for winning out that round, other than hoping they fragged out, and that was a little surprising considering some of the things that I saw in their demos against BS.
Felt like they didn't take space forward, but they also couldn't hold the flank. They needed to group and have like a strong enough exec to really flush those players out of sight, or to just go faster and use the fact that the flank hadn't come in yet as a way to just overwhelm the two that were on site.
Definitely.
Caught in the middle.
And
tough.
As
That's
an
all
in-game
right.
leader,
We've got more rounds to come coming up soon. But right now, we're still waiting for all the issues to be resolved.
as an in-game leader myself,
do you feel happy given the way that this game started, given your prediction?
yeah, definitely. It's something that I just genuinely enjoy, just kind of seeing them win out these rounds in such a fashion. The way they're playing it is just how they played against us on the finals. They were playing off each other well. They were flashing for each other, and they know what space to take and take it. Necromancers, like you said, they were playing a bit slow. They had full bathrooms control, and yet they still slowed down. Whale is notoriously for yelling at me for telling me, Nexus, you need to be pushing these kinds of positions, or someone needs to be holding this, or Nexus, you need to be moving faster as a team because they are going to be taking this map control. Do not like to play reactive. They want to play proactive. They want to be ahead of the. They want to just make sure that they're not caught off guard when it comes to these late round exits.
Absolutely.
All about that proactive play, though. Right now, we're sort of stuck in a situation like this. I have a question.
Yeah.
It's going to be a throwback.
I have an answer.
This is a throwback to the beginning. This was before I joined CSC. And really, this is a throwback to the start of civilization as a whole. What? Pizza topping. Wait, no, we're into
Oh, we're back!
I cursed it with the pizza question.
Pizza always gets it.
I
blessed it.
It's blurst, alright? We're sticking in the middle. Right now, we were just talking about how the issue for the Necromancers is they're caught a little bit too much in the middle. They're not aggressive enough, but they're also not spread enough across the map. But right now, it's like ATL that's getting aggressive. Cole takes a fight, goes down, and now the opening picks go in their way. Surely they can't lose a round like this. I say surely, but it's creeping all the way around the side.
Whale's in a nasty spot right now. Raizu clear. Oh. Whale might have this timing.
He's going to catch at least one in the back. Oh, he fires off before he can get the frag. Now that he's given away his position, be rough because a quick headshot there. Necromancer just absolutely demolishing the Sirens here in this one. The A aggression finally doesn't work out. It feels like the Necromancers finally got fights where it wasn't just one-on-one, or it wasn't super late in the round where they didn't have map control.
And look at this. They learned a lesson. They sped up really quickly off of AJ's death. Saw where at least one was and committed multiple bodies to A site.
Definitely, and towards ATL, we saw those first 3 rounds. They were playing off each other very well. They were flashing, they were peeking together, and they were baiting for attention. Just that round, we had Cole, jiggling for info, and then taking a fight when there was no fight needed to be taken, and Whale being left alone in unfortunate position, who had to make a play, who had to hit the shot, and sometimes you just get timing. Whale had the lineup, but the enemy team just jumped at the worst possible moment for Whale, and it all fell apart there. Dido and Rockin deciding to save is pretty good here. CT economy
Yeah.
is like notoriously bad, and if you can save those 2 guns, knowing that Whale can drop a gun over, do so much well for the economy going forward.
I mean,
Absolutely.
realistically, it's just Bishop Mage who's going to be the one who has to worry about these funds.
Mm-hmm. This is a big stabilizing round, though, for HEL getting 4 guns out alive. Gives them a little more flexibility. They didn't have a full set of util last round. Now they can actually fully exec if they want to.
All right. And an early Alien coming out for the Necromancer. Gonna grab Fountain People, use their nades to clear areas one by one. A little bit more passive on B, as they're just gonna sit back, the monster hold a player in connector. Have the Sirens get water, and off this information, up to them what they want to do. Oh, Dido spotted his corner. American Jesus, timing on this, he spotted him back. Holding an angle, waiting for the fight, but Dido instantly on the headshot, even turns to be aware of Khan as that next avenue of approach, and so Bramble waiting. In the patience game, Necromancers, they have bathrooms again. Question is, do they decide to speed up, or are they going to worry about all this B control that they've lost? Losing it means that other players coming up. That's Rockin', sprinting up onto the A site. So if, possibly when they decide to go A, everything could go wrong. So instead it's a fake. They're faking A. Dido's going to drop a molly, but Clouds could be ahead of this. He has to accelerate, and he needs this kill, and it's not going to come through. Now Dido can just cut them off at the pass. Necros is giving a fatal choke point. It's finally a headshot, but they've lost 2, and that's too many. Roly Coley with 2 of his own, and the Sirens are up to 4.
That round was won by Dido, honestly. Everything that Nexus mentioned about what Dido brings to the table came to bear there, right? Won his one-on-one versus AJ, and then immediately read where that flash had come from, covered off for the repeat, and then that was a really smart molly from him. Held it for so long until he knew that he actually could get value out of it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Whale, as an in-game leader, instills in his players there, who know that utility is much more than just $600 or $400 or whatever it may be. It's used to delay and used to stop things off. As you see, Roly Poly taking some good damage, getting spammed, not ready for it. And like I said, they know how to use their utility. They're using it well.
Tough. Big damage that early in the round, but at least back off, and at least it's an indicator. Short water has been taken. Sirens, they've been conditioned to respect A. They went aggressive one round, and that's the one that the Necromancers got, but now it means they have no idea if there's players on front bathrooms, while the Necromancers at outside B instead.
I like this patience from the Necromancers. They've got a lot of good damage on Roly. They're not getting any peaks from ATL, but they have plenty of time still. Definitely worth just waiting out a little bit. And now we're getting some speculative nades.
And see what Zims can find. They get an opening or draw a rotate, that could be everything. You don't want Sirens realizing this is going to be a fake. Heaven Smoke dropped. Now the exec's coming in. Zims waiting on A to play contact, and Rockin' adjust for the headshot. 3 on the site, and the exec is shut down. American Jesus, there's no way. He'll have to wait. Come back next round and Bramble. Okay. just gonna play for damage at this point. Take that op out of their hands, it's gonna really mean something. Op, waiting for you, my friend, and there we have it. 4 alive, 5 rounds. Sirens. Feeling good about that one.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, Sirens, like I mentioned before, they have all players firing on all cylinders. And as you mentioned before, Fluffy, they had no bathroom control, but they had a good setup to hold down the site and delay for the rotates to come in. So they were happily and gladly able to just stack that 3B site. But it didn't even matter in the end. With Rockin just performing out of his mind, had a great triple man. Shout out, man, triple man spray down, adjusting for the spray, getting the headshots in was just phenomenal. Like I said, all these players can pop off at once, so there is no individual fragger that needs to pop up. They're all capable of doing it themselves, and they're all very smart. They know when to take it. That's not to take away from the Necromancers, as we noticed. You know, Zim's top performer, Cloud stepping it up, and American Jesus who knows how to take these engagements. You know, it's a close game, but Sirens are just winning the strat battle.
Shout out to production. Shout out to Mechatronic here on the sticks, controlling the observing. Who had an unfortunate prediction that's not looking too great right now. Necromancers begin to fall behind. It was 2-0 for HEL. The call from Mecha. We're early in the game.
I think that round just kind of had the same issue as the third round, which is they're execing, but they're not execing with great util, right? No one molly toxic. There were no flashes for sight from either direction. It really just felt like they were running out and hoping they won the gunfights instead of going in with a plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Are
And
we playing Hangman?
That's exactly.
Are we playing Hang? I mean, I'm hearing that there's lag issues right now, which is why we're in a tech pause and taking a moment here. So we're gonna play some Hangman, and honestly, I think this is lovely. This is the entertainment that we're here to see.
we don't really want to cast the grand finals. We want to cast the Hangman.
All right, we're getting production audio so that we can explain this game that we're going through.
I've added my mic in. I'm gonna make it so that way you hear me out of both ears. Give me a minute. Okay. Hi, producer Mechatronic here. This is the second time they've had a
Chat
tech
guessing
pause.
letters.
Chat, be quiet. This is the second time they've had a tech pause. So, and obviously, as you can see on this game, there's definitely been some lag and some frame issues. Those are not on my end. They're not on my computer. That's on the server side or on the player side. So, while they work this out, we're gonna play Hangman.
That sounds great.
I think this is the best thing we could have come up with to do time. Okay, so I have a word. So if you folks would like to start.
What is the theme?
We'll have the theme be Counter-Strike. That way we're
Counter-Strike?
just still in the ballpark of the stream.
Yeah, I would assume it'd be Counter-Strike related.
All right, I'll say F.
F, yes.
Would anybody else like to go?
Yeah, I was just saying,
I'm
it's just no
thinking
one's
at the
asking,
moment.
What's going on?
No.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to
I'm
see
trying to
if I
think
can
too.
get it, but
Don't look at chat to cheat, because
Is there an eye in
about-
there?
yeah, there is an eye. These goddamn chatters, man.
Someone, I think I already know what it is now.
well, I don't. Is
All right,
I
All right, so
Just
Fluffy's
clicked
got
away
it
from
then.
chat.
So Fluffy's got it then.
I've got to guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna say the guess, or are you just gonna
What?
say yeah?
No.
beta?
What letter should I go with?
I can't tell.
Wait,
because I
say your
think I know.
guess.
Can I,
But if this one, by the way, if this one ends, we will just do another one. We'll just keep doing these.
can I guess an E?
Yes.
Ooh.
Clumsy. I am gonna make them harder. Okay. I did this very quickly.
No, this is
That's
really
an
hard
idea.
for me. I still don't know what this is.
Wait, you still know?
I
this?
looked.
Is?
I
I
looked
got
at
spoiled
chat
by
on
Clumsy
accident.
like
Yeah.
a moron.
Yeah,
Wow,
can we-
both of you know, and you're just sitting here leaving.
Well, we got
me to not
spoiled.
know?
I
Yeah,
told
we
them
got
not
spoiled.
to
I
do
looked
it.
at
told them
chat.
not to do it.
Yeah.
I looked at chat because I want to talk with the community.
Sorry, I
It's
don't engage with the
overrated.
community. No, I'm just kidding.
get
I
a-
love the community.
Can we ban Clumsy from chat? Yeah, is that a thing we can do?
I'm gonna say A just as I'm working through the vowels.
No,
Oh,
get ahead.
I finally got.
I also like to state that the players
Okay,
appear
Puffy, let's keep this
above the
PG.
drawings on the map, so I'm gonna have to be careful about
That's
where I draw.
amazing. Strike related.
I and F and an E.
Oh, it's Inferno.
It is Inferno.
Oh, look at him go!
I should have known. I should have known.
And it's really funny because I was gonna guess an N or an I, or after I guessed I was gonna guess the N. I read chat.
Yeah, and then Clumsy told us.
Yeah.
You can just write the letters when we get them wrong.
That's a
Yeah.
better
You don't have
idea.
to
That's
write
a
out
way better idea.
Yeah.
Well, we are unfortunately we are
That's
going live
so
soon.
much better. Oh shit, we're getting back to game. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys have fun.
Oh, we're
Let's
getting
go.
back to game. Let's go.
Nice. Back.
Let's just jump into it. Cole is instantly ready for that monster smoke. Decides to let Rocket throw it instead. And a classic 2-3, but they're focusing long this time. Gonna say, you know what? Maybe we don't fight Fountain. We're gonna fight something. Double stack on long, and it's pistols. The Necromancers.
Oh.
So I don't think they're gonna swing long with these.
This is a great economy read from Sirens. Playing literally the longest angles you can take. They played short, very safe as well. They got a good read on what was going to come out of this from Necro.
I mean, when you want to play the longest angles, you play long, not short. You know.
Yes, that is correct.
They did draw a lot of utility out. A lot of utility out
I
from
think
the Sirens.
Hey.
Waiting for a pop here.
They never had bathrooms control, so they're kind of worried about it. This makes me think that a bomb plan is possible. Necromancers have got no util, though. That step shouldn't be heard because no one's close enough. As now they begin to creep out, they're just going to straight up contact this. Smoke into short. Oh, they're going for a boost. At the worst possible time as now the players swing out a monster, and it's
Huge.
2 headshots from Rizu. That is so important, as now Bomb can get down to an advanced position taken. Rizu could win this entire round. There's the plant. Gonna get taken
Oh!
out, but a peek from Clouds up into the heavens. And yes, the Clouds are close enough, and now Rocket and Bishop Mage have to retake together. Pull it into a 2v2. These pistols on sight are just waiting to sting. Close as Clouds. Drop down into pit. They're both swinging
what a
outside,
shot.
and Clouds hits the first one. Adjust onto the second, not going to get it, and now it's a time game. Can Zim stall long enough around the pillar? Bishop pushes right, and Zim just tucks left. Ring around the Rosie, and finally Bishop's going to find the frag straight onto the bomb. But is there time? AK thrown onto the ground, going to scoop up an op instead, and yes, there is.
Just a great round overall from the Sirens. They were playing for a retake setup. They wanted to go for the boost late, and they did get caught on the timing. And Sirens are more than okay giving them the bomb plan. What they're not okay with is losing 4 players and having that clutch go down to a 1v1. It doesn't bode well for the CT economy, and it just puts Necromancers in the driving seat of the eco map.
Absolutely.
If Zim stayed short, I think he wins that. Like, even when smoked off, you just make a little noise, you run away. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, they're just gonna go B again. They realize, you know what? Running into B with Eagles work. So AKs will be even better. Up onto the site with those initial 2 frags. They've lost players as well. The bomb's gonna go ahead and get planted. Now it's all about these post plants that they take. Cole has short this entire time. Looks to jump top sand. Sims is going behind. Oh, this is so smart. No one's holding for this. Gonna catch the first one and hear the second one on sandbags. Roly-Coly-Pulley decides it's time to accelerate instead and run straight out into the awaiting arms. Only Bishop Mage left. Op up from heaven and an op 1v2 required. Now down into the site, but oh, they find both these players. They can find them, but they can't do nothing. About them AK shots. So Necromancers get their second.
That's a massive, massive round there. They completely flipped the script, right? They finally threw those flashes, did through the util, they were lacking on those earlier execs, and forced ATL to get a little uncomfortable. They weren't getting to just hide in tuck spots. They were really having to make a cognizant effort to address what was being thrown at them, and you could tell they got a little uncomfortable.
Absolutely, and they just played off each other well. Necromancers, they were able to go for the trades. They were, right behind each other. And as you mentioned, the flashes, they came in and they were perfect. They blinded the angles that they were holding, and they came in for the perfect trade. They swung together, even with a slight delay to ensure that no spray downs could happen like Rockin did earlier on in this half here. And now their economy is not looking too good overall here. Sirens are up 6-2, but they are very broken. If they lose this round, it looks like Necromancers might be close to tying it up.
It all comes back to those 4 players that they lost, as you explained before. Like, up against the pistols, it was difficult. I like this play here, going for short control, but it means that they have super bunched here in connector and short. Gap exists towards long, and the Necromancers are going to find it out here soon as they swing together. Short, even Monster. They're not going to be expecting this at all. Slow walk out looking for a fight. Not going to be given a fight, but can be given so much space as the rest of these T's creep up long. The gaps have all been found by the Necromancers. Oh, is Rockin going to be ready for this? Peek up takes so much damage, and Rizu making that contact is going to scare them into rotating down. Oh, look at Dido as he moves. Another player. Oh no. Come back. Okay. Still a solid setup from the Sirens here.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Rizu got through.
Gosh. Rizu's just a thorn in their side here on this B site. Grabbing that frag. Gonna get traded out. But it's gonna tell the Sirens, okay, they have to have rotated at least some people down, so the full exit gonna come through. And though, there's a flank. So they need these entries, and they need them now in order to defend that bomb for the plant. Ido still alive on truck, and Bishop's shoulder gets spotted! Bramble, a double in an instant, 1 on the molly, 1 on the headshot.
Again, the util is so much better. They molly the guy out from behind truck, which is a spot they were really struggling to take. They win the immediate duel out of long without a flash or anything. Like, the things that you need to win as the Necromancers all are starting to come together now.
Oh, nice entry again. Rizu getting space. They fall back. They hear those nades and they say, nah, we don't want to challenge that. Zim's still just going to hold for the fight. Up, back off to the next angle. And luckily, before they run out of angles, there's a teammate here to help, but now they both go down. 5-7 here. Bishop Mage. Able to scrounge up some guns for them and Roly-Coly. They're just going to save.
They should be saving here, but as a T, with the way their economy is, they can't afford to lose these guns. So they want to hunt down these saving players. Oh, and Bishop Mage gets caught off guard. Outsees him.
Oh. They can
know.
hunt. Necromancers should realize exactly what's going on, and taking these guns away would be huge.
Bishop's fully blind. Here comes the drop.
And connector.
There it
They're
is.
gonna send it all. Yes, they lose a bunch of players, but I mean, bomb down on T side, you're gonna get so much residual cash while the CTs are broke still.
Look at Zim's money.
They saved to get some money in, but it ain't gonna be easy.
You have Zims fully activated now on the op. That was a huge moment when they got the op picked up from CT side to get that in his hands, and now he's got enough money to buy an op every round. The end of the half.
I mean, I'd want that. If I'm playing CS and I like that op, you know I want to buy it. Whereas on the CT side, they've got an SMG, but they're making it work. Whale Avalanche. Swinging out a Khan. Grabs that one onto Rizu. Without a Rizu opener, it's on to the rest of these Necromancers to try and make magic happen. Unless, true to their name, they can bring them back in this round.
Clouds is holding for this. They're ready. Rockin' might not be aware for this.
Oh, he made so much noise. Clouds is so aware. Crisp on the headshot. And Whale thinks better of going for the flank as well. They're just going to stay posted in con. Romancers, what's their decision to do? We've seen a lot of these AXX previously, but an opening pick like that is going to make it a little bit easier to break into the site. Now Whale realizes they have to activate, and Bishop realizes they have to rotate up. Nades fly in, a molly off, and there's only one player on site here who can fight. Oh, they don't push. They've been cut off by
Zim's
that
read
smoke,
it.
but Zims is just on top of it. No matter where the push comes through, Zims will be ready. Now with a 4v2. Sirens. Contemplate a save. Go on.
With the way the rounds have been going, yeah, Sirens do have to just tuck their tails and go for the save here. They want to keep as many guns as they can going into these next couple of rounds here, as it is almost the end of the half. And they want to have a strong chance to make sure they can stick with this lead. But with the way it's going so far, we might be looking at a 6-6 scoreline. They've played their cards way too early. They've shown that they want to go for the flank. They want to take this base on the opposite side of the map. And Necromancers are now getting ready for it. They're holding for it, and they're making sure that when there's one, there's more than one. And they're starting to read and react perfectly.
I was thinking that Necromancers only needed a few rounds in this, like 3 or 4, to be competitive on the side swap. Got a chance at tying it up now, as we're looking towards that second half. On the other hand, the Sirens, with those saved guns, are going to buy what they can. Try to deny it. Tiny, do you think they should make any adjustments here to their setup?
Honestly, I think it got sloppy. They came out with a plan, right? To have 3 people die peeking, taking one-on-one fights, peeking into angles, just expecting them not to be waiting for you. It just seemed like the Sirens stopped playing their game.
This is so fast. They're just sprinting into B, and there's only one defender, but a defensive smoke is going to stall for so long. In the meanwhile, it's up to these T's if they can hold, and Clouds hold down that mouse one, dropping Con late, able to cut off so many of these rotations. Now, only Bishop Mage in CT. Cole trying to get a flank in, to do that and get an AK. I mean, gotta be a 2v5. Can't be an easy ask. No, I don't think it's been easy for the Sirens to get here to the finals in the first place. Fully shut down by Rizu. And that is gonna be that. Bramble the final frag. Necromancers, they've brought this half back from the dead. From being down 6-1. We now see a 6-6 score.
Hello everyone, this is the voice of your dreams, Mechatronic. I'm here to let you know that in between maps, we are going to be switching servers to a server that does not have a delay built in. So we will have to stop the stream, turn on a stream delay, and then we'll be back. So there will be like a minute and a half, 2-minute break in between maps of the stream day.
Always something going wrong, but at least we got some quick thinking. Go ahead and swap on over to a new server, but right now we're still playing on this one, and we're in the pistol. Sirens are into A. Instantly crack the head open of Rizu.
They got the Canary. He didn't get back fast enough, and
They slowed down. They're expecting a flank. They're expecting a rotate or something. I mean, Cole's sitting by Con, waiting for it, but it's not going to come through, and instead, leave the Necromancers plenty of time to get.
And I'm a big fan of the way they're playing this out now, right? You guys have a minute left, a minute and 50 total in the round. You're going to use the entire minute and 50, whether you play down to the last 10 seconds or you only need the first 10 seconds. It's a great way to ensure that the CPs get really uncomfortable and have to go for a play.
they're baiting with Whale. Here we go.
Is if any of these players they've sent in a die early. If they don't die early, it means that instead the rotates are pulled, and now he is the final destination. Clouds is here. American Jesus throws in a flash's support, and a die out in heaven, but Clouds is holding down the fort in the meanwhile. 2 on the duel. He's able to reload, and this entire time, bomb can't even go down. Necromancers. Sirens pulled him back and forth. But when a whiplash, that tug came through, they smacked him down.
That was a disastrous round for the Sirens. They got everything they wanted. Whale even pulled that extra rotate. And to have one guy stop your entire team.
And they didn't have util or anything to clear him out of pit. And sitting pit with dualies is a strong position.
Oh,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
And your life as an anchor is just, it's what you're taught to do when you first start playing Team Counter-Strike. You're not supposed to win the fight. You're supposed to delay the bomb plant. And the B-side anchor played it to perfection. They didn't waste their life, and they waited for the rotates to come in and overpass. The rotates are very, very quickly. They come in very quickly.
Yeah.
And so he didn't need to wait that long.
Yeah, I think this in some ways reminds me of the play from AJ on the other side, right? Which is they played to win the round, and I think they should have played to get the plant. Once they didn't kill that guy immediately, like, you gotta stick. In my opinion, you gotta stick that bomb. But obviously, I'm not the one playing right now.
Cam.
Yeah, we need a Dido twerk cam right now.
Look at Clouds go.
Clouds is demonstrating how you do it.
CT spawn. Oh, Zim's going off? Oh, damn, okay.
Zims looks like
Full
he got hit by
speed.
a taser over there. I don't know about that.
You know, sometimes people just like to have some fun with it. I think we're having fun with this game. A little back and forth action, but finally, first time in the game, the Necromancers are going to pull ahead. Sirens are just going to save.
Absolutely. With no bomb plant down, there's not really much you can do. And like as I mentioned before, the Tech 9, running Tech 9 is still as powerful as it was in early CSGO. But I think the meta has definitely swapped and shifted to where it's just better to get the guns out early rather than have to have redundant.
Oh my. Clouds just Clouds just farmed so much money there.
Clouds has jumped up to 14 frags here. Tying Bishop Mage.
Look at that ADR. He's showed up big time. He started the game 0-3 too, with like 20 ADR, so he is absolutely popped off.
Clouds has been the player popping off for the Necromancers through these playoffs. Going up alongside Zims, you mentioned both of them as stars that we should keep an eye on, and they're both showing that star potential here. Sirens, this is their chance to respond, though. We'll grab the boost in response. Rizu's gonna grab that one, peering over top of the wood. Another advantage for the Necromancers.
Are they reboosting?
Oh,
They are.
They're doing second boost to cut off connector. Because of that first boost, I don't think any of these Ts are gonna walk up short, which is the one vulnerability. Because I mean, Rizu's sort of stuck in place, being one boosting up.
If you're Rolly here, they gave up the boost now, but I don't think Rolly reads that either. I love that from them.
Love that for him.
Yeah, yes.
Love that for you. Maybe I wouldn't do that many boosts in a row. Of course I would. These are so fun.
I love how they have AJ playing this, by the way. He doesn't like to be stuck in an anchor spot, and so playing him on Monster here, this very active role, right now with the XM, I think really takes advantage of his strengths.
I mean, like, Monster is both the quintessential anchor, but also you get a ton of action when it comes. You gotta be ready. And so, like, when you're on a shotgun, this is the place you just take fights. You're not the rotator stuck just going back and forth. Not the one throwing the support util. You're the one here for the action, and it comes to him straight through the smoke. First one found for American Jesus. Fire in the flames to walk off all of these T's. It is looking hopeless here. Round 15 as the timer's going to run down, and they've got to scuttle away. Hopefully they'll save 2 AKs. Not even make any cash on 2 of these players.
I don't know what ATL was trying to do there. You had your one guy Monster, so you could at least try to, pinch. And instead, he sprinted to short. So that gave AJ the information that the threat from Monster most likely wasn't actually gonna be there, I feel like he gave up too much info there.
All right, Nexus, what do you
Big
think the
timeout.
Sirens are talking about at this timeout?
Honestly, they're just trying to make sure that they can have their team play together. They know what their strength is, and that's just playing off of each other well and listening to what the end of the round call should be. And they're just trying to calm themselves down and make sure that everything is going a-okay. That everyone's listening on and making sure that their team play should be picture perfect and to not let these few rounds get in their head.
Back into it, and there's only a few rounds left in this. MR12 seems to go by so fast.
Look at the util on Sirens.
They've just got basically full util kit on Rockin'. Their other smoke that they had has been burnt to put out that Molotov. Oh, but they're going fast, and it's a long setup. Necromancers, they've guessed wrong. They're going to hear footsteps going by, and they're going to have to run back into the site. A weird reversal of the roles, as in this T side should get bombed down for free. Oh, but there's no contact on long. It's contact from Bath, and it's Dino to win that first fight. Now, though, Clouds is going to show themselves as the CPs all start to push in, making it an absolute nightmare for the Sirens as they can't even get that plant in.
You know, they went from 5v2 to, once again, they didn't get bombed down. They started to plant, then quit the plant. It's not dire, but it seems like they've lost that coordination and that sense of what they're trying to accomplish once they get to site. It kind of looks like what HEL looked like to start this game.
Maybe it means that the Sirens bring it back.
I hope so.
Did. Right now, though,
Cloud's
nice
showing he's a
little
double
edge
threat.
Oh, it's... I mean, if Clouds and Zims are both the star players and they're both opping, but like, you mentioned having to adjust to opping in CS2, but I think they've got it figured out now.
Look at that. That was wild. It wasn't even an easy shot. He hit that timing perfectly. Very impressive from Clouds.
Another boost here, going to give him info on what's going on the B site. Start to paint a picture that, yes, it is this 4-stack over towards A for the T's. Pumping that nade over. No, I guess you might get a tag or something. Creep out of the Sirens. 15 shots here, if they're going to even hope to break into this one. First challenge is going to be Clouds up close. Trying to jiggle into them. Both sides, it's a little bit better, but now there's contact, and Clouds is just shredding them to pieces. Two nice little headshots to add on to the op from earlier. Now the op sings out again, but in the hands of Zims. Pitch up edge left, and why not re-peek into that one? Necromancers on their map pick started to pull away with it.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is looking for the 2-0 is looking very, very grim. However, I was very confident with Sirens coming into to Overpass. As like I said, I played against them and they just look super solid. And what I'm seeing here is not what I saw in the semi. It's not what I had to play against in the semifinal. So I think they just need to take some time. They can't use any more tag timeout. They've used all of them up. So they just need to calm down and make sure that they're following exactly what their game is if they want to kick.
Oh, fast into short with a flash. Rockin' clears the boost, doesn't see it, looks again. There's still somebody looking, so Rizu's gonna just back off of that one before anybody loses their head. Short control, but what we're seeing with these defaults is the Sirens are picking one, A or B. So I think pretty early into the round, the Necromancers have an idea of exactly what's gonna happen.
Very interesting setup here. And the Charlotte setup is quite, yes, in the sense. Usually you have one playing towards front bathroom and one in the little cubby inside the bathrooms, but they opted to pull off here. As you mentioned, they're defaulting to our site. And they're starting to exec.
And this is the exec. Rizu's up top, but a flash in decides not to shoot, not to reveal their position until they're able to strike down two. Necromancers gonna continue with flawless streak here on their CP side. Nothing that the Sirens can do. That B hit just falls flat. First flash comes through, they get out a little bit, and once that flash fades, the Necromancers pounce on it.
I'm really shocked by what I'm seeing from Sirens. They have not even fragged, really. It's not just a matter of we're not finishing rounds. Necro has gotten so much money out of keeping 4 alive over and over.
I think they're not finding any initial contact, and then they're just, okay, well, we're just gonna hit this site. But what they need to do is make that contact, make those plays for openings. Figure out, okay, this is where we're gonna break the setup. Once the Necromancers are worried they have to rotate, there's gaps, that's where they might fall apart. But right now, they're holding sturdy.
I also, looking at ATL, they're not getting out to Fountain at all. Without, like, chip damage, Molly's Whale is almost dead, and he barely got to Playground. It's, ooh, counter boost.
Oh, that contact! The wall there!
Wall saved Bramble's life.
Oh my gosh.
And Bramble had head armor. One time that's useful.
The one time. You know, sometimes you gotta give that head armor just in case. You don't want the embarrassing moment of a colossal one-shotting you.
Absolutely. Oh.
Hey,
AJ
still
scoped out
making it
one. That
instantly traded. Ado gets something, and then it's like, nope, you don't even have time to say it.
Alright, Rolly in a 1v3. Oh, no.
Oh. They got shut out after the beginning of that one. That was a difficult one to watch as soon as the halves swapped.
Yeah,
That
definitely. I
was
mean, as an ATL fan, very, very upset. But like I've mentioned before, they just weren't playing to their strengths. They were crumbling under the pressure. They were playing the game of HEL, the Necromancers. They weren't playing the game of Sirens. And in the end, you have to play your own game on your opponent's map pick if you want to take it that distance here. So let's hope we get a 3-map series, and hopefully ATL still takes a W.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for Vertigo. I'm hoping, but all else failing, we'll see you later either way, folks.
exciting first game.
We are back. We're here into it. We're not even gonna have to swap to another server. I'm knocking on so much wood right now. And we're gonna get to jump into map 2, which is the Sirens pick. It's Vertigo. They've gone flawless on it. So things are looking hopeful for a 3-map series. But hey, the Necromancers were hot coming off of map 1 of Overpass. Tiny, how you feeling coming off of map 1 of Overpass?
I was a little worried to start. I was not the hell I was expecting, but they really pulled it together. That was by the end of that. That was what I had seen from them when they demolished BS, and that BS is the one team I thought was better than ATL to
Why
begin
are
with.
so many of these acronyms like curses? We got HEL, we got BS. Like,
I think BS was intentional. I'm not gonna lie.
hey, it's
I mean,
great. I love me some big slimers.
any Slimers in chat? Hold on, any Slimers?
Any Slimers in chat? All right, Nexus. I'm assuming you're still holding out hope here coming into map 2. For
Yeah, I
ATL.
mean, for those who know me on a friend level, I always inhale that copium. Just the copium is real, and I'm still holding out for Vertigo to go well in their favor. And as I have a complete reverse opinion as Tiny wasn't looking to, and he really saw exactly what HEL should be doing, whereas I'm the opposite. I was hopeful at first, and then ATL they crumbled. They just stopped playing their game. They stopped playing off each other, and they were trying to go for individual plays. And they also just weren't ready for kind of things that they should have demo reviewed, or even just like in your standard pugs. These counter boosts are something that I see quite often, and they just weren't ready for it. They weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
They didn't know the angles. They didn't know how to play around them, and it's something that definitely caught them off guard.
But to be fair to them, it wasn't their map pick. That's
Mhm.
what's coming up now. This is Vertigo. This is their home turf. I think they should be ready for those gimmicks coming on in. You see all 10 players in the server. Pistol round beginning here. Necromancers have opted to pick the CT side. Seems to be the default for most teams, but I've seen both Vertigo and more common on Anubis. The T side is actually picked.
I mean, especially with PS2 being notoriously known for peeker's advantage, T side is just that much easier to play with, right? Able to just wide swing angles, and if you have good crosshair placement or just good aim overall, you can definitely abuse the CT side. But
Yeah.
CT side is all about positioning. If you can have good position, you don't have to have insanely talented raw aim. If you can just put yourself where they're not looking at you, it's a free frag for you. But we're coming in here to the pistol round on map 2, Vertigo.
Yeah. 2-2 start here with B and mid being the focus. In the meanwhile, Sirens are stomping up towards that A side. CT rotate's going to come in. American Jesus drops a close smoke and going to play on it. As that left side sight smoke goes in, the T's just start speeding on up, and they've completely ignored him. American Jesus, he's gone uncleared, but he misses that first shot. Finally gets it on the dualies, backs into the smoke, and now Clouds is here as well. Frags all turn back for the Necromancer's favor. Calm down on the site. It's a retake here for the Sirens that is not going well.
That's great play from AJ. When I first met him, he would not have had that patience, and I certainly can't claim credit as his past IGL. I didn't instill that, but whatever HEL's done, they've really brought out that patience from him, and that was an amazing play.
Absolutely, and you don't really expect that someone to just be hiding in a smoke like that. I mean, the smokes are volumetric smokes. They don't have a set shape. They fill whatever body they're looking at. So if you can see, it's you as to them. The T's can definitely see you, but they just weren't expecting it.
Flash is over for the peak. You mentioned American Jesus likes to get active. Seems like he's the A player here with that. Famas gonna go ahead.
Oh
and
my!
free. Why the heck not? Finally traded out, but not much they can do. Even scooping up that rifle. Only Bishop Mage left.
What a reward! All that effort, and you got a FAMAS.
Hey, a wise team once said, "Famas OP on T side."
That is true.
A little bit of hatred for the
Wow.
FAMAS by our producer here. I think we should remove Mecha from the sticks and drop me back in there.
He's telling the truth. Okay, no. T-side from us is different. It's built different, okay?
I mean, if it's free, sure.
Add ESEA team. Damn, out here making fun of foots.
That's tough.
Okay, Ollie dump coming in. Flashes over top. It's an early A-lean from the Necromancers. They don't see anything on the fight, but there's 2 players down here just playing the patience game. Oh, gonna be burned. They walk back. Now it's the question of, how do the Sirens retake this control, or how do they find a pick somewhere else? They're walking a player mid. Mid avenue's open. The fight's going to be taken here soon as Dido is slipping up A in the meanwhile.
Got a late
CM
lurk.
starts to make steps. The flash comes through. Bramble is full white. He's going to get swung on and taken down. First frag, easy peasy as they break into this site. Rizu also not hold for more than one. I'm going to get planted on B. Avalanche has been lurking mid this entire time. Gives it up, though. They're opting to go the safe route. Instead wants to rotate through and gets caught by American Jesus. Here's the footsteps. A flick over. And Sam is shooting good tonight. Clouds
Oh my gosh!
Runs out of bullets. Swaps to the knife too early. So American Jesus has got to clutch it up. Smoke drop close. Knows the player is back towards CT and finds him on the generator. Onto the bomb, but no kit, no time. A valiant attempt. 9-1 for American Jesus. Sirens, they're going to get one here. First round of the game comes down to the wire.
Absolutely, yeah.
Another good buy here from, or at least a full buy from the CTs as well. AJ can drop one.
Keeping one alive there from from the Necromancers, but once again, not looking too well for the overall economy for the CT side. But as long as you're getting these round wins, all that matters is whoever hits the winning scoreline first. And
I mean, look at the Galils. 4 Galils. The economy on either side is not doing well. They're going to molly American Jesus off from that single sandbag position. Force him all the way back. They're slow default out of the Sirens. They've lost Dido early. With a disadvantage, we're going to have to figure out a way to crack back into one of these sites. Like A site that they've set their sights on, slow creeping up the ramp. No way for the Sirens to know about this, given how passive they've played. This really is an opportunity to break into this one. All about this opening duel. Side hall. Clouds is fighting it. This gives it away. Still no contact made. Now the spam comes through, the boost up, and they know that 2 players have to be around the side, and so roly-poly swings out of side hall, grabs themselves a double. Now bomb goes down. There on the default boxes. Sirens have found their way back into this one. The Necromancers don't want to go down too easy. Now losing that frag, though, I think one's going to be too difficult to even consider the retake.
absolutely, and I know the Sirens, they're very notorious for their contact plays. They definitely just like to, mid-round, they just prefer to just walk it up and just make as little noise as possible to then explode onto the CT side there. And it works out more than likely. Because as a CT, you're waiting for some sort of cue to get ready as a defensive side. But when you make no noise and you just walk up on them and they're closer than you expect, you're caught off guard, especially on that boost there, just getting swung from 3 different angles, one being the ramp, one being side hall, or one being on the side itself. It just makes it that much harder for you to try to work it.
It's just like that play that we saw on B side on Overpass, where they tried to boost for water and got peeked from Monster by pistols. Like, it's so difficult in a scenario like that. Because if you're boosting with no information, you're gonna get some information, but you might also get absolutely destroyed.
I like what the Necromancers are doing here. They have these 2, rifles saved, and they're going to use them to the best of their ability. They're boosting them up to make sure they get the first kill, and so they can quickly, fall off. They don't want to lose that gun, but they want to make sure they get one and keep their life. That armor is super important when it comes to these Galils and not getting aim punched.
Dido makes contact. Called out Dido has that potential entry fragger now. For openings, here towards the B site instead. Bramble's gonna jump on up and take him down, instantly traded back by Rocket. You know that Rizu's close until he makes his presence known, now backs all the way from the smoke. While Rolly's walked up A. That frag is gonna be the signal. Rotate back over. Oh, but Rolly don't die too soon. Go down, that could be everything. Ollie's off Sims and just falls back into safety. On this free position, they're gonna need some real detail to get this bomb down, or just a nice headshot like that. Whale slams Sims out of this round. Bomb down. Another 3x scenario. One where Sirens, at this point, as long as you confirm you're not going for the retake, hunting is the correct option, and that's exactly what Whale is going to do. The Whale Avalanche continues to slide down the mountain. Another frag make. It's 3 in the round. First 3 frags for Whale, and those are impact frags. If they win this round, Nazi on the Necromancers. Take this half back over.
Yeah, and the Sirens, like I said, they like to go for these hunts. If you can take control of the CT side economy as a T, it'll make sure that you can now have an enormous lead coming into that second half here. And you're now going to be forcing the CTs to play around these port guns, these FAMASs, these MP9s. Sure, they have the ability to just absolutely... But it's not going to happen every single round. You can't rely on these pop-off rounds. You have to make sure that you're doing something that can consistently work, not work 5% of the time.
Can't rely on American Jesus in the smoke. He's this miracle worker, but can't do it. Can't keep it up forever. They want A control here. Keep A smoke, and they're gonna fight off some flashes. American Jesus is gonna confirm. Keep her stuck behind it. Spamming through though. Oh, that's so much damage. Cloud. Oh, Cloud. You're in such a rough spot, but somehow still gets one through the smoke and decides, you know what? If I can't go back, I might as well fight forward. Beautiful frag Bishop. Even while Flash is able to get 1, get 2, and knows that American Jesus has to be close by, but still gets taken down. Bomb in the possession of the CTs.
That was such a huge kill to drop the bomb carrier before he could get out. Completely changed this round because they couldn't just run back to B.
Not anymore. There is no escape. There is only American Jesus. Ido, look for damage, if not to clutch this up. Basically just left a player and spawn on an off angle. Then 2 here. Stack down ramp. Ido could isolate some 1v1s. This round is scary. The time's ticking down. Only 30 more seconds to do it.
That bomb is so far away too. Yeah, Dido has to start making noise now. And since he's so far away, they know exactly where he's going to be coming from. And all eyes are going to be pointed towards him.
Ollie onto side hall. Wants to make sure no one can peek, but it means that there's 3 players. Eyes trained on this position. 1 up top. Can't adjust to it. Necromancers tie it back up. I like that decision there to go for A control. Even more so, I like the coordination on that push through the smoke. They all decide, you know what? Clouds is low, Clouds can't back up, we're all so close. Let's go through now while they won't expect it, instead of just giving up with a disadvantage.
I like what they're doing here communication-wise. You can tell that they're continuing what they started on Overpass. They're really coordinating their plays. They're not taking these solo duels. And they're making ATL really work for everything.
ATL been working hard throughout this entire series. They're hoping to see their payday here on Vertigo. Still AKs in the bank. Guido with an opening. That's a pick towards B, and they accelerate. Goes down, and Bramble even doubles up. Walking down this B site, stalling long enough for rotates to come in. Rotate, they shall. So the Sirens, they're just going to go back. They cut noise, they leave. Sims on such an off angle that HEL they've done this. They're gonna keep clouds over towards A side. Sirens just, you know what? I'm gonna throw a mix-up onto mix-up. Slower. Cutting all noise.
40 seconds left on the clock now. American Jesus is here on a nice angle here on the B side, one that I've seen plenty times. But it is a rifle. These rifles have to, control the spray and get these kills going together. If it were an op, you can definitely get one and done and just fall off there. Oh, and gets caught off guard, but no.
Peeking before the smoke, American Jesus drops it and still takes the fight, and there's no flashes, no mollies to clear him out of position. Now, he turtles up close. They're just going to go back and save. Sirens, slow down a little too much. Once that opening doesn't come through, well, the round goes the way of VP. He'll save. It's a different Jesus of Counter-Strike.
The one true savior of Counter-Strike. As a question for y'all, what would you consider this map? C or CT or T-sided?
I would say CT, but the T-side economy is like so strong in CS2, especially with MR12. Like, I think T's can still steamroll it.
100%. I agree to an extent. I feel like it's whoever has the best position. Now, obviously, that's a very, basic answer, very, safe answer, but it really does ring true. Unless you're a ramp player. You have to just be able to make sure you're in a good spot to get these frags and play off your teammates very well. In a
They're going
pug,
fast A. That's a
I
left
like
side
this.
side smoke, and they're just going to accelerate. In the meanwhile, though, it's an A ramp take. You're coming out for the Necromancers. Neutral flying, fight coming on ramp. Oh, they're really fully up top. They only get one. Everyone is so blind. And finally, trades go even. Dido, though, accelerates up side hall, flashes over top. It blinds Clouds, but he still gets the frag onto Dido. Avalanche. The B side is entirely open. All the rotates have come through, but the bomb has to join as well.
he's in the middle of nowhere, and Whale has to come in fast here. Rockin'
I
is very
wonder
low
if-
HP.
Are they playing for Whale to backstab? This might be... They are. I like it.
I mean, you slow down here, but I think Rocket needs to make some kind of contact or noise just before Whale comes in.
Zim's got the read.
And Necromancers, they're so aware. They are so aware. The timing is a little off, though, but you're right, Zim. Reading Comprehension 100. Finds that frag. Rizu knows, okay, one's flanking. One must be over here. Necromancers clean it up. Again, A ramp control has been working out so well for them. Feels like in that round, the Sirens, they went A. They didn't have enough players. They traded out. Then once the trades came through, it's like, okay, well, now we're just sort of stuck. We can't keep pushing. We can't keep going. We've got Mac 10s, and it just got real awkward.
I think
Exactly.
awkward is the perfect description for what happened there. It just looked like those flashes were excellent. Rolly literally spent his entire mag spraying on top of the concrete and didn't get anybody.
It's on the opening off. Grab that frag. Doing well to just mobile with the AWP. Get openings for the squad. Sirens need to find an answer. Rounds just pistols. So not too much is expected. They've got to have it in the back of their head. Next round, they've got to do something. This round, they're not going to be able to do anything. Shut down on the approach. That's going to be 6 for the Necromancers.
It's looking to me that they've changed up a little too much here on Vertigo. They have like a set default going, and it just seems like, to me, at least when I played against them in the regular season, this is what I was playing against. Where they were taking these individual fights and not fighting together. And it's not the team I played in semifinals. So Sirens need to start, wake up and come together so they can go for these approaches together and win out the fight. But American Jesus picks up 2.
Oh my
Quickly traded.
gosh. up close, but immediately two teams trade back. But again, it's an A-side lean. It seems like every time the Sirens come in, there are so many players here waiting for them, waiting to tear their heads off.
What's really crazy to me is like you're not seeing the what I would consider almost requisite aggression from the CTs to get these reads. They're hard committing to this A control and winning consistently without having to like play for that mid info or play for that B info really.
I think the one gap here is Sirens could run some kind of B split. They could get mid control, they can get B ramp, and just send it. And I mean, when the Necromancers party today, that's where it's weakness. But when the Necromancers put 2 players B, that's where they find new avenues for opening picks. Nims gets 1, but traded out. But there's still 2 players on B who can jump util over towards this side. Sirens have no control A, no control B ramp. They're funneled in, having to just do something. Have hopes in this half.
Absolutely, and Bramble.
They're creeping up. Bramble's gonna get timing. Shot in the side by Bishop Mage is smoked down as he realized that Rizu's come up close. Oh, he does!
Big.
Bishop Mage with a crucial double, taking B all on their own as the T's now can swarm into this site and get bombed down. Close smoke to deny even more control, to waste even more time. One hope for Necromancers. They've got a flank coming in. American Jesus around the side, catches Bishop Mage on catwalk. That's the hero of the round gone, and now Clouds is up close, and it leaves only one in the clutch, and Cole can't get it done. Necromancers retake, deny Bishop Mage's hero play. The life seems raining from the Siren side.
It really is.
Necromancer
timing on
on
that.
full display.
Our producer really is rubbing salt into the wound here. But once again, as I said before, I am a major enjoyer of Copium, and I will stand by that. I still believe Sirens can come up and win.
It's like talking to Hawkish about NA.
Absolutely. But you know, this is CSC. This is for all the marbles, right? I don't want to say it's just a game, because it's more than that. It's a hobby. It's something that we built as a community to come together, and to win a championship, to win a season is, you can't discredit that. You can't discredit the effort that both of these teams have made to make it to the grand finals. And whether win or lose, I think they both showed a great performance overall. Maybe not so much on this map, but it's still early. The half is just about to end, and we have another half to play.
Yeah, we've seen 8-4 comebacks. There's no doubt they can pull this together.
Pulling it together, though, would start with this round. Mid approach, deep smokes. Start to pull up a molly, though. Deny them from going over jump up. They take a ton of damage. In the meanwhile, though, Dido's got an opening, and they accelerate up B steps. That's 2 instant frags. Bomb can come over jump up. Seems like the best round yet for the Sirens in the latter half of this first half. They're up close.
It's gonna be a tough retake.
Some kind of fight. A molly out for close. It's not gonna tag anyone. Both playing that close angle. They're just looking. They're canvassing for picks. They're gonna find a few. Whalevalanche caught on the flash. Stuck on Jenny. They know where he is. They're just accelerating into this one. And Clouds and American Jesus, the rifles just sprint forward. That's 3v5. An amazing 3K to turn that 3v5 around. Necromancers. Talk about coming back from the dead. Anytime that hope looks lost, they pull it from the grave. 9-3 on this half on their opponent's map pick, looking for a dominant 2-0 here in the grand finals.
We mentioned going into the match how important Whale and Dido have been, and then how important Clouds and Zims have been. And honestly, it's really only been the HEL stars that have shown up.
American Jesus has been so crucial in this. He knows what it's like to be in these finals. He's won it before and looking to go back-to-back now, 19-5. Firepower showing up for the Necromancers. Now on pistol. Bombs in their hands. Gotta make a choice on what they're gonna do. Slow play. American Jesus go kill. Look for contact on A. Not gonna find anything. Ed gonna find a ton of space.
He's making this noise on purpose, so he's trying to bait for a rotate to come back towards A or for someone to go over peeking. But they're aware. They know that when all of this
Yeah.
noise is being made, they know that it's just someone trying to bait any sort of rotation, and they're not budging. They're taking space
They're not.
towards middle. Look at
Right gen
this.
smoke's gonna land. That's both smokes, left and right gen. They know what's happening. Is this a double fake? Are they coming back to A? Oh, they are. But that's contact on ladder. That ladder contact means they know that B's a fake. They can start to rotate back over. It's all about who gets here first. The CT is coming into position. There's no smokes because they spent them all faking B. And so now the bomb just has to run up dry and go for that plant. In the meanwhile, there's so many CTs fighting well with the first headshot, but Clouds trades one back here from Sandbags a second before he gets eviscerated by Rockin. And these CTs are making it work. USPs sing out in unison. Sirens, the much-needed pistol.
That was really good patience. You know, no one overpeaked that. No one got greedy. Sometimes in those 9-3s, you play a little too aggressive, try to double peek into AJ making all that noise, and they played really passive and won them the round off of it, honestly.
This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying Sirens need to play their team game and not play for ego aim duels, right? When you have players like American Jesus, Zims, and Clouds who can all show up and shoot back, we're not in a pug. We're not in Silver One or 1000 Elo in Premier. We are in a CSC official. This is where teams do demo reviews, and everyone here knows how to shoot back. So you can't rely on your aim duels. You have to rely on making sure you're playing off of each other very well. But Bramble might be catching a timing here.
Intel, they know this map. Jumping in that util gets a little bit of damage, but Necromancers still take A ramp. They get fast smokes up and they go. They just said, screw it. Even with just 4 players here, we're going to get that bomb down, let our alert do their thing. Molly forces it back, but not before Plant can come in. Now, that Siren's one pistol. They're at a disadvantage here. It's their job to break back into this site, and it's not going to be easy. They still holding bottom ramp, but Dido finds an alternate angle and 2 immediate headshots. Now this retake is looking much, much easier as Dido swings in for a third. And it's only Bramble, that mid-lurk from earlier, coming on in, can't even get one. Has to move a little too quick. But Galil not getting it. Sirens, they win the second. They force the Necromancers onto a save.
That's huge from Dido. It's been a very rough map from him. A couple very key rounds where he just didn't get a pick, and he showed up right there. Great job by him.
And just once again, just noting the map control that they're taking. They knew that this A hit was coming, the smoke's coming in, and they took space. They took space off of mid or from B, and Dido pushing and getting the crucial kill. That long range with an MP9 is absolutely huge. You're farming money, but you also kind of force Necromancers into this enclosed area. They're very tight and they don't have much room to work with. And the added value that they just push past the left side smoke. They push past it to get into side hall, and then they crunch together as a unit. And that's what I'm saying. Sirens need to be playing their team game, not the Necromancers ego aim duel game.
Ah. Real well with the team here, though. That Molly not looking great.
Oh,
for Bishop.
no.
Has to run all the way back, take a majority of their HP. A practice here. Jumping Molly's there next time, but luckily, there's a round to flub a Molly. I would say do it against the pistols. That HP, oh yes, you gotta play back, but just play back, let your other rifles hopefully deal with them. We'll see what they're able to get done. Dido makes contact on ramp, disassembles that boost. Necromancers we're looking to go for. They've got a bit of a stack over towards B because, I mean, but Rollies just cleared out all of A. Oh, it's Whale Avalanche, excuse me, jump spotting. Oh, Sam's walked up close left, though, finally spots one deep. So just gonna back all the way up. They hear these steps away. They know that whoever was defending has snuck all the way back. Back turned, gonna get assassinated. That's the 20th on the board for American Jesus. They are so deep, so into this one. Rizu, the frag as well, up close, elevator.
Oh.
And they're making these pistols work. Frag after frag, fight after fight. The Tech 9s, the Deagles are a terrifying prospect if you're the Sirens. Holy Coley. Close, rolling into the site. Oh, and Rizu with the Tech 9 close just absolutely shreds through them.
Look at that money now for ATL. This is dire if they don't pull back anti-eco.
They're gonna just have to buy what they can.
If they definitely do, I mean, they're at a very severe disadvantage when it comes to the scoreline. 10-5, Necromancers need 2 just to solidify OT and 3 to win the round. Sirens do not want to give them those 3 couple of rounds.
Yeah, won't want to give it to them, but they might have to if they lose this one out. MP9s, Ido dodges the flash though, makes contact, can't get it, and all alone means there's no trade. Rizu's got an opening. Necromancers still play this spread. Contact fights here for Clouds and an instant assassination. Rockin is out of there. Falling apart for the Sirens. I just do Molly on the sandbags whale. Yeah, you're not surviving there, buddy. Perfectly done.
T-side from Moss.
Oh yeah,
nice from Bishop.
Moss working out. Bishop's got one in the back, but at this point, either get some kind of rifle to save, or just go for damage. You can farm up money with this MP9, but no farming allowed here. As Zim says, get out of here, get out of this building, get back to the fields. Necromancers, they're 1 away from match point. You're 2 rounds away being your contender champion.
What an absolute monstrous performance from American Jesus too. 26-8 with 129 ADR right now.
Yeah, I know we were
Crazy
talking about Clouds and Zims popping up in this series, but an unknown superstar in American Jesus coming in here, showing that it's not the Clouds and Zim show, it's him and the rest of their team.
This is why you get a player like this, just such insane mechanical skill. Just tearing through him. 3K here in this one. Farm some ecos, you've deserved it, my friend. Match point for the Necromancers. Sirens have anything more to say?
Is the final buy. Sirens loses, it's over. The grand finals are over, and it's 2-0 in favor of HEL. All the pressure's onto HEL, but I feel like they're not really feeling it. They're just playing their own game. They're taking control of the map, and they're doing it fiercely.
Just confidence. Pure confidence. They know, okay, we can close this one out. Just one more round like we've been doing this entire game. Let's just default. Let's find our fights. Let's get our picks, and let's get this dub. Go over towards B looking for fights. Yuzu there at bottom ramp waiting. Well, Bishop Mage has walked up side hall. This fight could be an opening for them, but instead, even with a flashbang, Clouds instant on the headshot. Puts him down. Necromancers step closer. This victory, they can taste it. It's on the tip of their tongue, and Whale Valanche wants to get something back. That's a headshot onto American Jesus. That's the star gone. Extinguished at least for this round, and somehow escapes. Cloud couldn't find enough pixels to connect with the shot. Rizu back on beat and is gonna get it. Dido taken out of the round. Even more spam coming through it. Pulse rotates. At the same time, the bomb's coming up. Smoke on the site to just go ahead and plant it. These 2 CTs that have come back, they want to get back into this one. A flash. They're looking for fights. Bomb's gonna get planted either way. The spam can't connect, and 3v4 they have to retake. Well, all the while, who comes in on the flank. This could be the win condition. This could be the championship play. Creeping up elevator, makes contact. That's 1 on the M4, instantly traded. Hope still alive for the Sirens as Whale Valanche swings in with the spray. So much damage, and Rockin can finish it off. Straight onto the bomb, no kit, but there should be time. Sirens stay alive.
They stay alive for one more round, but it's getting that much more difficult now. They're losing these guns. They can't afford to lose that many players if they want to make this comeback into OT, especially on their map pick on the CT side. They do recover an up. but Hop just isn't as powerful as it was on Go, and they need to all be firing on all cylinders. As we saw early on in Overpass, they were hitting their shots, they were playing together, they were taking these fights calculated. And just right now, I feel like they're just taking these fights hoping to win, not confident that they can.
Hate to say it, you don't want to think about this too much, but it seemed after that tech pause, the energy just sort of drained. Gotta do everything they can to get that energy back in this one. Feels up close. There's 2 players stacked towards B and a lurk smoke thrown up in front. Looks to go over it. A spray through and it connects. Another entry for Rizu. Daito goes down. This B side is looking vulnerable. Just an op from Bishop Mage playing back, playing passive. To wait for this retake. All at the same time, bomb is A. CTs have no control on either side of the map. Now Bishop gets one back and Rocket's calling. Guys, come back. They're going A. Ollie down is gonna stall out that plant. Bramble, yeah, burning alive. You can't plant there, my friends. Scoot over a little bit. Gonna get it down. Now with the bomb ticking away, gotta be another retake. Sirens have all grouped here towards CT side.
This is desperate right now.
It's a flash through, a fight, side haul, the first avenue of attack, and the first player found. Bishop's still worried about some kind of flank, and they're just on it immediately, just sticking. Rocket staying in this smoke, and it's on the defense to just hold the line, and they do. Sirens, A retakes. Nerves are high. Working out, and Necromancers gotta call a timeout.
Absolutely. They're okay with giving up the sites, knowing that they have the utility to retake, right? They have smokes, they have flashes, and if they don't have a PC that they would like to use, they improvise and they come up with a way simulate what that would do. In this instance, a side hall smoke. It would be perfect to just cut that off and fight for ramp. But instead, they just flashed and triple swung together. And with a little bit of luck, there was no one holding for the elevator swing by ramp, and so they were able to just take that side hall fight, clear it out, and then focus on. And just a classic way to just improvise with utility.
Yeah. I'm starting to believe a little bit, but I'm still nervous for the Sirens. They're not winning these rounds confidently yet. They have a few more chances to prove to us that they have what it takes, and the Necromancers have a few more rounds to prove to us that they can capitalize off these openings. It seems like Rizu's been able to get every single time. Daito just cannot win this head-to-head, getting denied by that Necromancer's fragger.
Daito's 8 and 19.
Oh, but
Zims.
Zims.
Big.
That's crazy. Finds that opening. Bishop Mage was holding with the op the entire time. A missmoke mid, they're going to accelerate up over jump up. There's only one rifler here to defend. So little that they can do. Rockin' has to be the hero. First one found, rocking around that B site, but can't get any more. Well, Avalanche coming over jump up says, gotta go now. I need frags now because bomb's gonna go down soon and the teams are gonna get into crossfires. There's first contact, but there's an opper up close and Zims closes it, and only one more left to go. The Sirens opt out of the round. Zims closes it, and there we have it. Necromancers 2-0, winning it out. They are your Season 12 Contender Grand Finals winners, your champions, coming all the way through that bracket. That's an amazing story.
Definitely
even in my like most in the bag for American Jesus, I did not expect a 2-0 there. That was an incredible performance by them.
Absolutely, yeah, and it just really came down to the players on the ATL side just hitting their shots. Overpass, we saw it; they were winning confidently, but once they started losing these aim duels, there's no amount of positioning that can make up for a good solid play. Just a nice flick, an instant headshot. There's nothing that you can't necessarily play around.
I mean, once HEL was feeling it, he just dragged ATL down with him. Every single opening duel there on Vertigo seemed to go their way as they just tore through these bomb sites, got the plant down, and won it out with confidence. believe we're going to be able to get in someone for a fun little interview. Uh, but it's going to take us a moment here. Players obviously still celebrating their win. Happy to go ahead and get that dub, and I'm happy for them. I've got to say, this is a team that worked really hard on it. A team that came into not just these finals, but came into playoffs as a whole, not being favored at all.
Yeah, that was. I can speak as someone who was carried by American Jesus to a trophy that he turns it on like very few do in playoffs, and knowing that he is probably not going to be playing next season, it's very satisfying to watch him have the growth and what he was able to deliver uh, in that second map.
I mean, 6-5 in the regular season, but now 2-0 in grand finals. HEL, get it done. They are your champions. But it was a well fought battle there. Sirens, they showed signs of hope, but unfortunately just couldn't get it done. Couldn't put the requisite rounds together to bring us to map 3. But that's
Absolutely.
all right. Goes it goes for you sometimes, goes against you others. I know both these teams had a lot of players with CSC experience before. We talked about American Jesus, prior champion. I mean, we look down these rosters, we see names that we recognize. Avalanche, Roly Coly, experienced ATL players. We know they're going to be back in future seasons to try and get this one. Um, it's it's a fun one. It's an exciting one. As
Mhm.
Tiny has to go on mute here for a moment. It's always classic when somebody comes into the room. It wouldn't be playoffs without it.
It's not a CSC stream without we have us having background characters, right?
Oh
And if
yeah,
you really think about it, the background
100%.
characters really do make the TV show. They do make the show that much more enjoyable. You get to point out like, oh, I recognize that person. I've seen this person, and it's just it's a bit of laughs there. Unfortunately, I am a bit
yeah,
saddened to see my boys over there at ATL. They've done a lot of prep work, but I guess HEL just did some more, and they played their game better than
yeah.
ATL could, and it came to fruition. So congratulations to the HEL guys, and hopefully we can get that interview coming soon.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Rizu waiting in the wings as Prod's getting them ready to get them all mic'd up. It's like when you're at an actual event, they hand the player the headset. Sometimes it's just one of the casters just takes their headset off and hands it over. Except instead it's us getting their mic coming through to production, and we get them in here. I think it makes it a little more official, a little bit more fun. I certainly have enjoyed the production on this one. Able to make the grand finals really something special. Thanks so much to both of you, Tiny Nexus, for joining me on this one. This has been such a fun match to go through, and I think we did it justice, giving it a show.
Definitely. I mean, we had
Absolutely.
myself and Tiny Elephant here just coming in as semi analysts, and just kind of breaking down the game in general, breaking down both of these teams and us putting our predictions based off of stats. And keep in mind, stats are just stats. They're not a definitive answer. Just because
Uh,
ATL as a team had better stats overall and had a better season overall doesn't necessarily mean that they were going to win, and it was proven here. HEL just
yeah,
they had a phenomenal game. American Jesus coming in just out of left field, getting these entry frags, getting these pushes, getting these timings, and just always so ahead of the curve is just something that you can't really predict there. And as I say that, we do have our interviewee. I believe it is Rizu.
hello, Rizu.
Hello,
How's it
hello.
feel?
Uh,
First
it
of all,
was
just how's it feel?
it's pretty good. We were undefeated last season, and then we threw pretty hard, and now we made it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, impressive work to come in off of this one. I'm actually curious about that. Do you feel like you got a little bit of extra fire because you came into playoffs as one of the lower seeds?
No. So honestly, the very beginning of the season, we were kind of screwed on the draft picks. So I was trying to find the best team possible, personality wise and role wise. And the biggest thing about our team is we put all ego aside and we understand what each person does. So like Bramble, like on the stats, he show it doesn't look good for him, but he plays the worst spots that we all hate, and he does his like duty like to the T. And we know Zims is our star opper, so we move him around, and we have our star riflers and Clouds and American Jesus, and then I'm filling in whatever roles necessary, right? So everyone's understanding that structure, like how structured we are, understand um, that type of play style, and that's what made us click. In the beginning, we were just kind of getting used to like our CS2, how we're playing, and then like our personalities, how to do things correctly. But once playoffs hit, we just got everything rolling. Like everyone just focused up, and we did our job.
Congratulations. I know. I guess Tiny, you have any questions here to ask our champion about either of these maps that we just saw unfold?
Yeah. So I know there were some lag issues on the server, and I know Zims was vocal that he felt like it was why the team got off to a slow start on Overpass. But what did y'all see that you started taking advantage of? Because you did start playing differently as well after the second tech timeout.
So we were kind of heated, obviously, because of the lag issues. Like I think we all were kind of like really getting uh annoyed. But the thing is, what's good about us, even though we're like a 6-5 team, if you look at our scoreboards through the regular season, it's all very close games. So we're used to getting tilted and resetting immediately, right? So after that pause, we reset. We brought it as like a new game. We talked about what they do on their overpass since we watched all their demos, and most teams always revert to what they're comfortable with. And knowing them, they like locking down middle a lot on overpass on T side or CT side. So we started abusing monster and long A, and that's how we brought it back. And yeah.
Ah, I mean, okay. I I have a question that I'm curious about here, Reese.
Yeah, what's up?
I as you guys sort of got going there, as you started to feel it,
Hmm.
like did the pressure at all change because it was a grand finals, or do you feel like y'all
No,
just
it
treated this as
this
every
is
match?
so the thing is, I know half of us play as ESCA a lot also, and we do this together. So all the pressures in scrims because we want to make sure we perfect whatever strat we're trying to run. But like I said, since we got so many like tie games, we're just used to that pressure at this point. We're used to being like down 1 or down 10 and coming back. And us losing, I'd rather have us a really bad win loss record during the regular season to build that mental fortitude. Because as you saw with like Big Slime, and I know some other teams that was tilting, like we knew they're tilting, we know how they play, and we would focus those players and tilt them even more because we felt like they didn't know how to deal with that. They didn't have the mental fortitude that we did to, you know, deal with that loss or getting wrecked over and over and over. So that's what we really honed in on. We just wanted to abuse one player every single time we did a playoff game.
I
So
do want to
it's a
ask.
focus on that mental fortitude, staying strong as a team.
Yeah,
Alexis,
Oh
as
yeah,
you
do you have
saw.
any
I do. Of
questions to throw towards our champion here?
course. I mean, being in playoffs, obviously, it's not just another regular match day. It's not just another pug. It's not just a mere game. It is, an official match. And so, obviously, more importantly, I guess for playoffs is that the prep work that has to be done for playoffs has to be immense. And I know of teammate of mine, GCL, would go crazy with the demo review. Have documents. You would have, you would watch every
Um,
single demos, and I just want to know, like, how much did you guys prep for the ATL Grand Final?
Honestly, we just spent today. We literally logged in together at 3 p.m. Most of us had a time off. We watched all their demos together on 2D replay, and then we watched their YouTube VOD that they didn't delete properly. So we saw how their comms is, and we kind of singled out certain players that would be more tilty, and we wrote down their positions, and we tried focusing more on that side. Um, and the big thing is watching their demos. It's not like looking for one or two things because I've seen a lot of like notes that people make where it's like this person does X, Y, Z. We're just looking for a pattern to abuse. So honestly, we really want to verse them on Anubis because like we saw what they did and they did the same thing. They always did a split B or they slow push through the smoke on mid and they pushed through smoke. We had like all these spray spots lined up, but we can never get to Anubis. But I'm glad we closed it out as a 2-0.
I that's one more question. Is there anything you would like to say? Personally, having made this journey from last season's disappointment to getting to cross the finish line this season. Is there anything you would like to say to last year's season's team or this season's team or in
Or
general?
any shout outs to give?
Yeah, any shout outs at all?
Obviously, shout out to Big Bramble, right? He's literally the glue. He fucking does all the shit jobs that no one wants to do. And he literally is our clutch master 9000. So fucking huge. Jesus, he's our X Factor player. He would literally open up sites by himself as an entry lurk. He did it super well. And he would fight back on my calls, because obviously we're kind of really structured and I need someone to push back on me sometimes to tell me, hey, I'm fucking up on my side because I'm not perfect as IGL. Clouds. So Cloud's whole role was to support Zims, our star opper, but the fact that he came out as like the MVP was fucking huge. So he literally he had the third least freedom on our team, and he was able to put out that type of numbers is amazing. And Zims, hey, he's now the best opper S11 contender and the best opper S12 contender. And honestly, like, he's probably the best opper I ever played with. He listens. He has zero ego, even though he looks like he has ego in the chat. He really doesn't. He's a very solid player. So the whole team is fucking awesome. I'm really glad I played with them this
season. Okay, well, I want to let you go off and celebrate with that awesome team from your awesome victory here in the season 12 contender playoffs. It's been a great game to cast. It's been so fun to see your success, and I wish you the best of luck going forward.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Tiny, Nexus, I think this is where we call the night to a close. It's been a pleasure having both of you here as experts about the tier and lovely co-casters. So thank you so much. And thank you to our production, to Mecca, to Logan, the one running it all, playing Hangman when there's tech issues, bringing in our interviewee, figuring it all out, and now doing with a special announcement. So before you go anywhere, listen on in. Logan's got a few things to say, then we'll bid you farewell.
Yeah, it's a very small list of things to say. The A stream is still on map 1. I seriously mean that. They're at almost.
I saw it was an OT.
It's like almost 60 rounds on Ancient. I think they called for a match medic. So, in with that, I have a quick video that we have to show you before we go over there. But I will raid the A stream from this one, so you do not need to go anywhere. If you stay right here, it will bring you to the A stream. So we're all gonna get going. They'll all say their goodbyes. We're gonna roll a quick video, and then it'll move over to the A stream. So just stay right here. We got you.
All right. Well, got more Counter-Strike action coming your way then. So enjoy this quick video and.
Human nature makes me a stranger to everyone I know. I know it's all lies I brought to life. Now I don't know how to be so unreal. Hate that I think the way that I feel. Voices fill my head with noises. Drink me of this poison. 'Cause I'm not who you think I've been. Frozen, I'm someone I don't know. And cycles never box me in. Don't, I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer. I'd rather be free. I'd rather be a leader. I'd rather be a queen. I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean. I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.